Here we go, folks. L39's pulling up. He's going to be the guardian angel for the rest of this race. And here comes Andy on the pole, pouring the coals on, or as we say, twizzling it up. Because with that twin turbo, you just don't hit the power, you roll it in slow. Okay, on the back side of the course, now we can see the plan view of the airplanes because of that perfect sun. And Andy has got a nice, comfortable lead so far. But I got to tell you, he's getting pushed real hard by Joe Coraggio in second place. Joe Coraggio has a very fast Lancer Legacy that's got a lot of nitrous in the side there. He's got a big old tank, and trust me, it'll make it the whole race. So Joe Coraggio's got it poured on real good. Andy's holding him off. And in third place, we got James Webb, and he's got a supercharged Lancer Legacy. And then after him, we've got George Catalano, who's got a twin turbo. And then we've got Timothy Slater, who's running a little nitrous, and John Flanagan, who's normally aspirated. Okay, from your left, folks, here he comes. Andrew Finley, followed by Joe Coraggio, followed by James Webb, and George Catalano, and Tim Slater, and John Flanagan. Now let's listen on the next time around, because Andrew Finley, as he starts twizzling in more power, that airplane starts to sound like an unlimited racer. It, with all that boost, can make, up to 1,000 horsepower. He's probably going to run it up in the, I'm going to say the 500-600 horsepower range today, but that airplane's going to go easily 350 miles an hour. So as you can tell already, they're going around that course a lot faster than the other two races. And from our left, you can see Andrew Finley going around pylons 6 and 7 right at the moment. But you know what? He's got company. Joe Coraggio is right on his tail. So we'll have to see if he starts to feel it a little bit. He's probably going to turn up the power as he gets going. From our left, look, folks, listen to these airplanes as they go by. Okay, now we have a change of lead. The fourth place pilot, George Catalano, has moved into third over James Webb. So James Webb is in fourth. Tim Slater still in fifth. And John Flanagan is in sixth. Now watch on the backside of the course. We'll see if Joe Coraggio tries to make a move on Andrew Finley, because Andrew looks like he might have dialed in a little more horsepower, because now he is pulling away from Joe. Joe has got a solid second, and then in third place we have George Catalano. Now George Catalano's airplane has a twin turbo setup and can make a lot of horsepower. So they've had a lot of time to start testing it in the last couple years. So let's see if George starts to push it a little bit today. He took it easy yesterday, but we'll see what happens. From our left, Andrew Finley got a comfortable first place, and I'm sure that engine's wound up a little more, and we're going to hear some more horsepower. Let's see what it does. Oh yeah, all three of those airplanes are really putting out the power. Here we got James Webb with his supercharger. And we got Tim Slater with his nitrous setup, and John Flanagan, who's doing probably a nice 270-something miles an hour, normally aspirated. But since the other planes are so fast, he looks like he's going slow. Anyway, look on the backside of the course. Andrew Finley is starting to pull away. He's turning up the power, and that airplane starts to sound so good when he's got that boost up. He's really moving. Look how fast he's making it past those pylons on the left side of the course. He's definitely in the 350 mile an hour plus range. Too bad we couldn't look at his speedometer, huh? Or his airspeed indicator, more accurate. Okay, from our left, here he comes. Andrew Finley, comfortable lead. There he goes, Andrew. Followed by Joe Coraggio. Now Joe Coraggio's getting some company with George Catalano right on his tail. We'll see if George can manage to get around him on the next couple of laps, but he better get working on it now. Okay, James Webb, he's got a comfortable fourth, followed by Tim Slater, he's got a comfortable fifth, and then John Flanagan in sixth place. Look at that race for second. I got a funny hunch that George is going to start twizzling it up a little more because he is right on Joe Coraggio's tail. Okay, from our left, Andrew's already starting to come around pylon 6 and 7, and about a pylon behind him is our second and third place airplanes, and George Catalano is starting to reel in Joe Coraggio. We'll see what happens right here in front of the crowd, but that's a perfect opportunity on this straightaway for him to make a pass. Okay, from our left, here comes Andrew Finley. He's got the coals in just enough to stay ahead, but it sure sounds good. All right, here's George Catalano moving up on Joe Coraggio, but Joe Coraggio's managing to hold him off so far, but that's a tight race for second place. Okay, here we got James Webb. James Webb's just hanging back there, having a good old time, followed by Tim Slater. Tim Slater's probably, compared to when he was first running yesterday, he's probably 20, 30 mile an hour faster. And we have John Flanagan coming around pylon 7 right now from the left. Really, I think the only normal aspirated one out there, which he is. Everybody else has got some kind of boost. And here he comes by, probably in the 280 mile an hour range, just cruising. Okay, he's going to have to start worrying because Andrew Finley may lap him. Because look to your left, he's back. Andrew Finley really moving. Coming down the straightaway right as we are watching. Ah, that's a beautiful sound, isn't it? Okay, here we got the real race. The race for second. George Catalano is trying his hardest to get around Joe Coraggio, but even though he looks like he's ahead of him right now, Joe Coraggio's got that inside track on the pylons and gets to actually fly a shorter distance. So every time they make the turn after the straight, Joe stays ahead of him. Jim Webb coming by, making a little boost with that supercharger. Tim Slater is running a little nitrous in that class air. Look on the backside of the course, folks. I think there's a pass going on. George Catalano is making a move. Look at that. He's going after Joe Coraggio, and all he's got to do is hold that spot, and he'll probably come in second. Joe Coraggio is probably reluctantly going to give it up in a few seconds here because to make a pass, the aircraft you're passing has to stay clear. So here from the left comes Andrew Finley. He's really moving. Andrew Finley with a comfortable first, and here's our white flag, folks. That means this is the last lap, and if George Catalano has not got around Joe Coraggio, then we got a problem. Yep, Joe, look at this. George Catalano made the move. He's in second place now. Joe Coraggio in third. They both take the white flag. You know, if he ran out of nitrous, that's a good reason why he slowed down, but I don't think he slowed down. I think George sped up. Anyway, here we got James Webb coming around, taking the white flag, one more lap. And from our left, we got Tim Slater. Tim Slater's moving real good, and he's taking the white flag. Okay, coming around a couple pylons back is John Flanagan. You better keep the wood in it a little bit because Andrew Finley is on his tail, and we just might have a photo finish in front of us, folks, because Andrew Finley is really coming on hard to John Flanagan, and it just might be a pass right in front of us because here it goes. John Flanagan's holding them off so far and takes the white flag, so he will finish the race. But Andrew Finley taking the gold and winning the race the checkered flag, pulling up to cool down. Here we go. George Catalano, second place, taking the checkered flag. Here we got Joe Coraggio, third place. And we should be seeing James Webb from our left. Sounds like he's pouring in a little more boost. Listen to that bird. It sounds great. Okay. Good job, James Webb, fourth place. Pulling up to go into cool down. And from our left, here comes Tim Slater. Tim Slater in fifth place, taking the checkered flag. Good job, Tim. And then John Flanagan. He's on the backside of the course a little bit, just coming around, probably pylon 6 right now. Got a couple more to go. But John Flanagan, the only normally aspirated airplane out there, he can toot that horn because he's not juicing at all. And he's coming around from the left. John Flanagan. His aircraft won Sun and Fun Grand Champion and then Oshkosh Grand Champion quite a few years ago. Checkered flag, John Flanagan. Good job, John. Sixth place. Wow, I got to tell you,